Welcome to part 160 of Persona 5 Royal, and God give me strength. God give me strength. And I'm saying that because for the next 5 days, we are going to be trying to snap everybody out of their actualization. We already snapped Morgana out first. We're going to have to do that for everybody in the Phantom Thieves that's not named Yoshizawa. So, that means we cannot use fast travel. That also means if you have not maxed out any confidant ranks, you cannot until after the 9th. But moreover, actually you cannot until after the 18th or something. No, after the 9th. Yeah, that's... No, actually after the 13th. That's right, because that's an automatic event. So any other confidant ranks you need to max out, you have until February 3rd to do. But at the exact same time, it's going to be between the 13th and February 3rd to do. So, in other words, make sure that Takemi and EY are both maxed out, because if you don't, you will not have any good items to buy, and if you do, it's going to be excessively expensive. So our first person to snap out of their actualization is On. And these aren't random, they're in the same order. It's going to be On, then Haru, then Futaba. I think it's On, then Makoto, then Ryuji, then Futaba, then Haru, then Yusuke being the last one. That's the order that they're going to do that in. And by the way, this is a non-talking part. So there's absolutely no voices in this cutscene, so bear with me on that. In fact, there's no voices in all the cutscenes, but there's just one thing people need to understand. Shiho is gone from Shibuya and is never coming back. On cannot come to terms with that. And thanks to Actualization, she is living her dream, but at the same time, she is actually trapped in a bold-faced lie. And to all of you who said Maruki may have been a gray area villain, no. Nothing about this is gray area. It is as black can be, because, ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing a counselor is not supposed to do. Anyone in the psychological field for that matter. And that is take somebody's personal issues and use it for personal gain. And since we now know that Maruki's a palace ruler trying to actualize the world the way he sees fit and pick and choose who deserves it and who doesn't, I'm pretty sure that is using people's plight for his personal gain. I'm sorry if I'm speaking a little bit too loud, but the fact that this palace's concept frustrates me to no end is making me very, very angry. So, yeah, have fun with the fact for the next 5 days from the 3rd all the way until the 8th, we are going to be trying to free people from their actualizations. And oh, in case you're wondering, you need to find friends to look to, you can talk to Morgana. He will tell you who's next to find. And, by the way, again, let me reiterate. You can't fast travel until you go straight to the platform. I mean, you can go to the platform if you want. You can't fast travel until you actually... I stop and think about it. You can't fast travel at all. Jesus Christ. Until you go a little bit further. And you can't really fast travel like talking about it, because you have to go to Shibuya. You have to go to the platform. in order for you to actually find the Phantom Thieves that needs to be snapped out of their actualization. And that's all the more reason I can't stand this fucking palace. It's way too long. And I've checked in my recordings. God have mercy on my soul. The third visit, to that palace. Not the third visit, but rather the fourth visit, We're visiting this palace 6 times. Because the 5th time, we gotta finish up the palace. But the 6th time is literally the fight with Maruki. By the way, the third initial visit is going to be at least 3. So the third visit's 2 parts. The 4th visit, where we actually start the palace proper, is going to literally be about 5 or 6 parts. Primarily because we have to go to Mementos. Well, let me rephrase that. It's going to be like 2 or 3, and then we're going to be hit with a roadblock. And then before we actually go to the palace, we'll have to at least get everybody with rank 11s in order for them to survive the remaining part of the palace. Because going into the rest of that palace without rank 11s is a terrible, terrible idea. Just saying. Oh, and in the case of Makoto don't realize that her dad has been dead for quite some time. And she is pretty much trying to live out the actualization that her father's alive and just got the recognition he so desperately deserved for trying to capture all the criminals in the dirty underground in Shibuya. But her father died in the line of duty, and she can't come to terms with that. And neither can Saya, for that matter. Unfortunately, she got caught in the actualization. Oh, fun fact. You probably won't know about it because it's been cut out, but in Strikers, Maruki's only appearance is bringing Sai to Kyoto. I'm not joking. That's the only appearance. And it's probably because it's an apology because she got trapped in the actualization as well, so he did whatever he could to help. And that's the last appearance, supposed last appearance of Maruki. But unfortunately, he is not in Strikers, and Yoshizawa would be trapped in training and unable to take part in Strikers. But she shows up in Tactica. Also, the English voice actor of Maruki passed away, so even if he was going to show up in Persona 5 Strikers, he passed away long before they could finish the recording, so yeah. I can understand why he actually went into diagnosis for cancer during the recording for Strikers, and then he passed away long after Strikers was released. Anyway, we're now going after, from the looks of it, Ryuji. Yes, this is where we're going after Ryuji. Hey, look, it's that killer whose heart we changed. And he's even wondering what the hell's going on. It's too uncivilized for him. So we're going to have to go to... We could go to the lottery machine if we want to, but we can't right now because we don't have full control of the stores. So now we're going to have to go straight to the school grounds. Even if we go to the platform, it will not let us fast travel. You still have to go through the gate in order to go to any part of the town. They will not let you fast travel for any reason whatsoever. And that is aggravating because all the entirety of the time I was able to fast travel. Why would you do this game? Alright, I know somebody's going to write in a comment, why are you bitching and complaining for the entirety of the time? I'm not. I'm just pointing out how terrible of a mechanic this is. That's not a complaint. That's a legitimate, actual slight against the game. And Ryuji, who, if you remember his confidant rank, while he was trying to keep the Oh, excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. That was literally the delivery for the new part to replace the part that's broken on my phone. But I digress. Ryuji is having flashbacks of him getting over his leg injury to try to get off of Shido's cruiser as it was exploding. And also, didn't those guys jump Ryuji, if I'm not mistaken? I'm pretty sure they did. They did because she wanted to take the frustration. He wanted them to take the frustration that they have for the track team going down on him. So that way he would have completely cut off all loose ties and no longer feel guilty about the track team going down because Kamoshida was an asshole. And in the same vein, he wanted to keep the track team going despite him not being on it. So, yeah. This actualization is literally a slap to the face to Ryuji. In fact, this actualization is a slap to the face of everyone. It is a slap to the face of An because she literally had to go through years of her and Shiho being sexually assaulted just to finally get one up on Kamoshida. An assault to Makoto because of the fact that she lived all of her life thinking that you have to go through the rules, and she didn't understand a single thing. And needless to say, she couldn't understand her sister's pain and sorrow because she had to go through the same thing, except she's on a grander scale because her bosses was part of a conspiracy. Haru, she had to go through her father literally selling her off to try to gain to the political realm of being prime minister, all for the sake of just doing so instead of forgetting what made him a corporation in the first place. All the dirty political money turned Okumura into a terrible person, and also Yusuke later on. Breaking out of the abuse of Madarame so that he could finally paint art not for the sake of having to help Madarame, but paint art because he wants to, and that's what he likes to do. But all this actualization is pretty much reversing everything the Phantom Thieves go through. The funny thing is, Joker was the only one who broke free aside from Akechi. And as you know, you can't really actualize a living person. Well, actually, yeah. You actually can. And that's why we're going over to where Haru is located, because she is definitely wanting her father to come back. And not just her father, I mean her father being a caring and loving man who would look out for his daughter, as opposed to the person we had to steal the heart from, which Pancake Man immediately killed. So yeah, everybody who practically died, honest to God, should not be actualized, but they are because Maruki had that power. And while some people think, hey, maybe it's a good idea to make people's dreams come true, to end all suffering, again, let me reiterate, Maruki picks and chooses who gets a happy ending. And moreover, this would mean people who he deemed unworthy will be erased from existence. Yeah. Do you see the grander scale? Now, I know that would sound like a good thing, but people's pain and suffering is a life experience. And this man is taking away life experiences. It's not that he don't know how to handle life experiences. He don't want to. And that's the whole point of his actualization, and as to why he is not a morally gray villain. So now that we got that out of the way... Oh, and the title of the last part is a justified title, because yes, Maruki is a loser. In the grand scheme of things. And now we're snapping up the fact that Haru pretty much resisted everything that she could to try to gain her independence and her freedom and her happiness, because she was literally being married to an abusive prick who we will never see again, ever. So, we got Haru. All that's left is Futaba, and lastly, we will have to deal with Yusuke. But I wasn't kidding when I said that this was an 8-day thing. This was a 5-day thing. So, come the 9th, we're going to be, again, forced to go into battle. Alright. We've got 2 more people to deal with. We could talk to Morgana if we want to, but I know where they are. And I have no choice but to go to the platform or Shibuya. Well, it's Shibuya, because the platform basically is right up the way, so there's no reason for us to actually keep fast traveling. Oh, let me rephrase that. It's not even a fast travel to a short distance. You're better off going to Shibuya, because the platform is just there. You can't fast travel to Station Square at all. So on that note, off to Akibahara. And unfortunately, we can't go into the arcade or anything, or buy any electronics for right now, because we don't have access to the shops. So let's go on ahead and talk to Haru. And for those who don't know, Pancake Man also killed her mother. And made it look like a suicide and had her whole entire life ruined. Pancake Man almost driven this girl to suicide. And Maruki just wishes away like that. When you stop and think about it, that defeats the purpose of all the struggles the Phantom Thieves had up to this point. And the only reason Futaba never left the room was because of the fact that her biological family constantly blamed and abused her for Wakaba's death. Thanks to the Shido guys and also to Pancake Man, even though they were the killers. Well, Shido and the Pancake Man, obviously. Everybody else kept blaming her, and Sojiro was the only person to protect her. And it took the Phantom Thieves to prevent her from committing suicide. So basically speaking, in the grand scheme of things, this actualization defeats the purpose that they have grown as people. Because all he's practically doing is stopping their growth. Because one of the things of growing up is going through hardships. And if there's no hardships to go through, everyone becomes complacent. Again, pure evil. And not morally gray.
Time to head home.
Besides, people have to earn their happiness, as opposed to have it given to them on a silver platter like what Maruki's doing. And why do many countdown artists dick ride this palace? I don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, I get the third semester has some really good music. I'm going to say that right now. Very big positives. I love the music of the third semester that I'm hearing right now. It is a really good soundtrack. Although I say Persona 4 Golden has the better soundtrack, especially in its like third semester, but the soundtrack here is really good. I like it, but that's no reason to glaze the palace. You can tell it's poorly designed in a way, especially the backtracking areas. Oh god, backtracking is going to be the MO of Maruki's palace. And I'm warning you all right now, it is going to be the MO of Maruki's palace. And I know somebody's going to say, I'm sick and tired of you bitching you play for 22 minutes. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Everyone has their likes. Everybody has their dislikes. Some of the things I dislike is the major backtracking. Oh, and by the way, if you think you could go to Takemi to try to get yourself some medicine, think again. You can't even go into any other places in the city to try to get yourself something else. Because the game's not going to let you. You are forced to go to wherever they want you to go. You can't even fast travel. You still have to take Shibuya and take the station. Which, by the way, you're still going to end up here anyway if you take the platform. So there's nothing you can do about that. You still have to go straight up to the stairs, and you're still gonna have to go through the gate to go to the next area, because you can't go anywhere. The game will not let you go anywhere outside of Shibuya Station Square. So at least if you discovered this place, if you haven't discovered this place by now, it'll be discovered later.
What a coincidence.
I promise you it will. So, needless to say, Yusuke is actually fawning over Sayuri finally getting the recognition, and how Madarame was the one that gave Sayuri the recognition without having to resort to plagiarism, even though he gave Sayuri the recognition by resorting to plagiarism. And literally letting the original artist, i.e. Yusuke's mother, die from a seizure by denying her seizure medication. On top of the other sadistic things he did to abuse his pupils. Primarily, he did it out of the rage because of the fact that he owed Kanashiro lots and lots of money. And got into a gambling debt. Moreover, some of that money he also did was putting into the campaign for the Shido campaign. And moreover, Goro Akechi was forcing him to do that anyway. So, needless to say, Yusuke's life was ruined by Akechi as well. So, Maruki just wished that away.
It's me. I've uncovered a few things in my investigation this week, so I thought I'd share my findings with you. First, regarding Maruki himself. He's been researching the treatment of patients through changes in their cognitions since his college years. You already knew about that, correct? Maruki's work apparently had enough investors that he was planning to break ground on a research facility somewhere. And as you know, those plans never came to fruition. His funding was cut off, and his research was ended for him. It's probable. However, we can't be certain of the reason why, at least with our current understanding. What was the purpose of his research into cognitive science? Doesn't it feel like there's more to the story? For example, maybe his research was stymied by someone else for their own reasons. Anyway, that's all I could dig up about Maruki's history. The only thing that's become clearer is his stance on using cognitive science. He's dead serious about saving people. He distorted reality itself to make his dream come true. I can only imagine how delighted he is right now. That reminds me. There was one more thing I wanted to tell you. About the reality Maruki's put us in. It seems that Okumura and Wakaba are both considered alive by all accounts. They aren't mere illusions or cognitive beings. They truly are alive and existing in this world. In fact, their deaths seem to have never taken place at all in this reality. Shido was the only one arrested on the crime of attempting to overthrow the government. It seems the Phantom Thieves were causing a stir in this society as well. But there's no record of your arrest now. Basically, in this reality, you and I haven't committed any crimes. I don't understand how Maruki was able to distort reality to such extremes. But at the very least, he was being honest when he told us that he'd make such revisions, and rather convenient ones. Remaining in this Maruki revised reality means living under his thumb forever. And I refuse to live like that. I'll be the one to choose my path. That's how I've lived up to now. And it's going to continue from here till the end. But what about you? You saw them for yourself, didn't you? Your friends seem to have taken a liking to Maruki's version of reality. Don't tell me you've changed your mind after seeing them. I see. I pray your answer doesn't change when we face Maruki tomorrow. That takes care of the info I wanted to share. See you soon.
Are you going somewhere tomorrow? With Akechi? You guys are really hitting it off lately. Of course, that's not a bad thing. Hey, so, about what you said before, you know, that stuff about my happiness? Sorry, it's nothing. Good night.
With us snapping out the Phantom Thieves, now all that's left is January 9th. And folks, this right here is the stopping point because we have to save. And here's the thing. If you don't save now, you probably won't get the chance to save later. And you'll have to start all this all over again. So bear that in mind if you happen to die anytime on the 9th. So on that note, this is our Man 95. Peace out.